We have a Yoto player and they'd sent out a new lead for it, but they've done effectively not a recall, but they're sending a kit out to change your own battery for it. These are a kid's toy. They've got an NFC, you put a card in it and it'll play stories and all those sorts of things. Now I thought I may as well do a video on it. This is what they send you. This is the kit. Comes with a battery and looks like a part of the NFC, or at least the card. They send you a screwdriver, a clip and some screws. So I thought I would give this a go. And they also send you, I should say, some instructions here. So I will be reading from the instructions and I will follow them by the letter, and let's see how we get on. So step 1, make sure your Yoto Mini is powered off and unplugged before doing any repairs. Yeah. Also, step 1, if you have a cover, you need to remove it, which I will do now. Okay, that's off. Step 2, remove the rubber feet from the bottom of the Yoto Mini with your fingers or the blue prise tool. I will see if, here is the blue prise tool. It's quite unusual. I've never known a company send you out. These are the 2 screws they give you for the bottom of it, presumably. Oh, sorry, there's 2 screws for the bottom and maybe 2 screws for internally. So there's 4 screws in total I've got in this kit. I'm not sure if there's other kits and they will send different ones out, so make sure it's the same one. This is a Yoto Mini model. And first step anyway, step 2, remove the rubber feet from the bottom using your fingers. So I will use the prise tool and I'll prise these up. There we go. And just prise them from the side, they're a little bit, they give up a bit of resistance but not much. I'll put them to one side. Step 3, the case is held together by 2 Phillips screws found under the rubber feet. Remove the 2 screws with a screwdriver provided in your kit. So I will remove the 2 screws, and it's the 2 shorter ones. I'll put everything I'll take off to the left. Oops. There we go, that's the screws out. Step 4, open the rear cover from the bottom of the Yoto Mini using the blue prise tool. Do not attempt to open the cover from the front at the top of the Yoto Mini. It shows somebody prising underneath, so I will do it the same way. Okay, to remove the case, start at the bottom and rotate to the back as shown. Now I will so I've put it in and give it a twist, and it's unclipped as you can see here. Now it's just to lift it and rotate it. So I will do that. To remove the case, start at the bottom and rotate the back as shown. Moderate force is required here to release the clips at the top of the Yoto Mini. You may hear a sharp click when the back case releases from the body. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, yeah, there they go. That's a bit of a tug, but it does come out. That's the clips that you're releasing, and they are underneath here. So it comes out like that. Alright, put that to one side. Right, now we move to step 6. Step 6, the battery assembly is held in place by 2 Phillips screws found on each side of the battery. Remove the 2 screws with the screwdriver provided. Okay, those screws are here and here. So I will remove them, and it says I'll zoom back out. I'm presuming these are the longer ones of the two. I forget what the original reason they sent us the replacement cable, which was meant to limit the battery charging. They've obviously decided that they're not happy with that, and I don't know what's wrong with the battery. It's not for me to speculate, but there's either something wrong or something wrong with the charge regulator on it, or I don't know. But anyway, I'm just following the instructions. I have removed the two screws. Step 7. Gently pull the battery assembly away from the body of the Mini to reveal the two cables and their sockets. Note that the cables connect to the larger connected to the larger plug may or may not have black insulation padding. Okay, so it literally does just lift down. It does lift down. There appears to be something stopping it here. No. That is the two pieces side. You have a cable here and a cable there, so there's two cables. I must add that there is a QR code on the front of this, and they have supplied their own video. I've not watched it. I'm literally following the instructions inside the case. So gently pull it away. And there we go. Remove the cables from their sockets with your fingers. Plugs may be glued in place. This is step 8, but they can be removed by gently moving the connectors from side to side to help loosen them. Yeah, these two are glued, so I'm just going to get my nail on the glue. Just loosen up. And these are probably good. This is probably going to be the hardest part. I'm going to use the pry tool. That came out pretty easily. If you look here, if you can see it, it has they have little side pieces that you can grab hold of on the top and down the side. That one's out. The other one is here. That also is glued on mine. Oh gosh, that is gonna take a little bit more force. I'm actually going to scrape a little bit of that glue away using the screwdriver. The glue it's like a rubbery. It scrapes away. I'd probably recommend doing that first. Just be careful you don't slip and end up on the electronics. So I'm going to prise this up. Actually, if you can just pull it, yeah, pull and wiggle's easier. That was just take the glue away, put your fingers underneath and pull it up, and out it comes. And there is the old assembly. And here's the new assembly side by side. Is that the last step? That is the last step for removal. Step 9. Please dispose of all old parts. Let's just have a quick look side by side at the battery. That's the old one. This is the new one. Here's the new one. This one's in a sort of paper bag. And the other new one's not. has foam on one of them but not on the other, and that's it. I presume this is the aerial or for the NFC. It's curious they didn't just send the battery, but there we go. Okay, so put the old one, which is that one, to one side. Bring the Yoto player back. Let's just zoom out a little bit. Step 9. Please dispose of all old parts. Step 9. Please dispose of all old parts, including the rubber feet, the screws and the old battery. Please follow the procedures established by the relevant local authority, collection centre or local authorities for lithium batteries, as there may be different requirements for recall batteries. Check the Yoto frequently asked questions on support.yotoplay.com for more guidance. Warning, do not damage or pierce old batteries. Do not reuse the defective one. Okay, step 10. With the new battery assembly, attach the 2 plugs as shown below. Attach the smaller plug with the terminals facing upwards. Attach the larger plug with the terminals facing downwards. So, the terminals facing upwards they are not in the centre, they're just to the north, so I'll slide them in. And also the tiny little clip is on the top side, so that goes top side in. A bit fiddly. Tiny bit fiddly. Okay. Maybe. It does say the diagram. Right, attach the smaller plug to the terminals facing upwards. Well, to me, when they say terminals facing upwards, the terminals are at the bottom. I think what they mean is these 2 little dents on the top are at the top, so it actually, I think my eyesight's going, but yeah, so yeah, it goes with the 2 little bumps here and here at the top, and then just slide it in. I was actually trying to put it in the wrong way around myself first time. And the other one, which has got plenty of glue all around it still, make sure the glue is out the way, seems to go. It's a bit difficult to show this. Again, the clip, the little indent for the clip, that one seems to be the other way up. It's a bit hard to show this on video. it goes that way. So this is the bottom of the Yoto. The black is, if I put the bottom like that, the black is on the left, the red is on the right. It does show you a picture of that, but it's not very clear because they don't show the bottom of the player in the picture. That's the way around it goes. And then again, just give it a shove, make sure it goes all the way in. It goes all the way in, it clips in. Then once the cables are attached, gently push the battery assembly into the Yoto player. Please ensure that the NFC reader opening on the new battery assembly is at the top of the Yoto player and that the wires are not trapped or pinched when the battery and NFC assembly is in place. Now we'll do that. So I will push this into here, making sure nothing's trapped. They want to go around that little indent. There's a little indent in the bottom of the plastic here. It feels like that's where they need to go in order for this to sit properly. Actually look like it's sat straight when it sits in. Okay, let's assume it is. It's the longer screws. So, where were we? Once the cables are attached, that's number 11, and the battery assembly into the Yoto. Okay, step 12. Secure the battery and NFC reader assembly in place using the 2 longest Phillips screws provided. Ta-da! And you have to drop them in there. Right, that's 1. That's 2. Doesn't appear that level. If I do that up, it doesn't appear to be catching on to the thing because it hits a dead stop when no, the battery, no, it's in. It does look okay, to be fair. Alright, so both of those are in and tight. Just check those wires, don't seem. No, they're not caught. No, they're not caught, and they fit around that little indent there. So the screws and the hold, battery only partially charged and require a full charge before use. Step 13. When refitting the case, start by attaching the top as shown below. So that will be the same as before. So we need to slide that under here, like that. And somehow wiggle this into place. It's a bit up. There we go. That's in. Refitting the case, start by touching the top as shown and close fully at the bottom of the Yoto Mini. To fully close, press the top of the case together. You will need some moderate pressure until you hear a click. And then step 14 is to put the screws in the bottom. So it's exactly as they say. I'll go back over it in a minute, but let me just get these in. I'm going to put the old feet back in because they came out okay. I'm not going to worry too much. Step 16, put the covers of the new rubbers on. It's important to register your new battery, being the last step. I will put these are the old ones. They're still sticky. They look in decent condition. I'm just going to give that a quick wipe with some isopropyl alcohol. You wouldn't need to do that necessarily. Just to make sure there's no grease on it. And then pop those back in there. And that is job done. So I don't really see why they supply the extra screws. The one thing I will say is that in this step here, this one here, step 10, if I zoom in, I would say you need to be a little bit mindful of the terminology they use for this connection. Attach the smaller plug with the terminals facing upwards. Now, yeah, it just looks, the actual holes, I think, as I remember, look on the bottom. I can actually look at the old one here. So they describe that the terminals facing upwards. The terminals are the side that you can see the two little terminals, but when you actually look at it, they're on the bottom. It's just terminology, but they go in that way around with the little dip, like in the picture, but the terminology says facing outwards. Okay, I mean, I'm not really into the technical aspects of these connectors, so maybe what they're saying is right, but it just looks the other way around. This looks like the aerial for the NFC for the card. Might be useful for something sometime, probably not. Anyway, that is the install of the Yoto Play battery. I have followed the instructions they sent. I'm going to go and plug it in. If anybody spots a mistake in the video or thinks I've done something wrong, please mention it. It's obviously people may look at this and think, oh, I'll have a look at what he's done, and I don't want it to be wrong, but it looks okay. I'm going to go and put it on charge now and make sure that it all charges okay and there's no problems. There we go.